Hello, I'm Ronnie Eldridge. Welcome to Keeping Relevant. My guest today is Councilmember Gale Brewer. She represents the Great Six Council District in Manhattan that includes Central Park, Lincoln Square, the West Side, and Clinton. That's as of today. But as you probably know, she came back to the council last year as one of the city's longest and most experienced public servants. And I want to especially know what that meant to her and to us. So thank you. Welcome.
Welcome to me, to you, and as the former sixth council member, you certainly know what it's like.
It is a great district, right?
Yeah. Fabulous district.
You're the borough president for 2 terms, right? Because we're, and before that you were in the council, and before that you ran Ruth Messenger, who was the city council member, her office, and you were the city's representative in the federal government, and all kinds of things, right? You even worked in a company that was building public housing or affordable housing. So what made you come back to the council? I just want to say one thing. I really didn't understand or appreciate your coming back. But I want to tell you, thank God you did come back. And I understand it better now.
I appreciate it. Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, I do love the city council. I like the fact that you have a budget to negotiate on and that you can introduce legislation directly. When you're borough president, you have to go through a council member. But the other reason is this government in general, the reason I'm interested in being in elected office, I want government to work for people. It's not working. Government is just not working for people. And I don't know that I can make a difference in, whatever time I have left, but, I want to try. There are some problems that are so constant. They've been going on for years, just special education, just trying to get the buses to pick up the kids and get them to school. That doesn't work. And of course, we could talk endlessly about affordable housing. We could talk endlessly about the seniors and all the challenges they have. So the problems are ongoing. Now, I don't know if I can solve any, but I can certainly take some of my long years and say, this works, this doesn't work. Either we try something else or it's not going to work. So I can't listen to these issues going on for another 20 years. So I think that's why I did it. I'm going to give one more shot and trying to get government to be more responsive to people.
Did you always care that much about other people when you were young? I mean, was that part of your growing up?
I was always causing trouble. I think I got thrown out of brownies. I remember I was just at a recent Girl Scout, celebration. I said, if you only knew what I didn't do that you're doing.
Yeah.
So I was always a troublemaker, from high school on and even below high school. So I don't know, I think I always wanted things to work for people.
Did you come from a family that was active in the community or in some organizations?
A little bit. My father, he was an attorney. We grew up in a small town, and I always pretend I'm from New York, but I actually grew up outside of Boston. And he was a selectman in the town.
So he was already.
He was already. I remember going to the dump. That was the biggest political activity because, we have our subways and our buses. That's where we hand out literature. Yeah. But he handed it out at the dump on Saturdays. And I went with him to hand out literature.
So, I'm always interested because people, I don't know if it comes in the air or if it's a tradition or something that's been made part of you. So that's very good. Yeah. I really learned something. The other thing that I've learned about you, which I think is unusual for a holder of political office, is that basically the main thing isn't being the politician. It's being, as you said, the policy person that you want to see accomplish what it's supposed to accomplish. So that's a pretty good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm better at the policy and the government side, the civic side, than the political side. Now, you need both. You can't do one without the other.
And developing strategy for what the policies that you're interested in.
Yeah, I mean, you can develop strategy on, what should be the bike lane, what should be the bus lane, what should be, the use of the streets. But if you don't have stakeholders to work with you, then it's not going to happen. So you do have to have some political sense.
Right. What is it like then in the council with how many new people? We elected 35 new members.
Yeah. I think there's three of us, Darlene Mealy, who's from Brooklyn, Charles Barron, and myself.
Right.
We were all in the council before together.
Right.
And there are a majority women. This is a whole different 31 out of 51 women, and a woman who is, of course, the
leader,
the speaker. So
Yeah.
it is very different. And age, the only person older than me is Charles Barron. By a year.
It's funny, isn't it, to be older than other people?
It's interesting, and a lot of smart people, very diverse, but definitely age is different. And people have babies, and some people have older children, but some of us have a lot older children, and it adds a lot of interest to the council.
So, what does it do to the workings of the council?
I would say two things. One is you do have to say at some point that's been tried and it wasn't successful. On the other hand, young moms bring that balance, the need for balance between those that are working and home. So then there's the issue of diversity and people who have, Bangladesh experience, people who have many languages in their background.
Right.
It adds a lot of good
Right.
information, and you really do feel like you're representing the city of New York.
And that really is different.
That is different. That's not what I had before,
Right.
and not what you had.
Right.
It's an amazing difference, and I think it makes for better legislation and better policy, and people can see themselves in the council, which is important, and young. People who will be hopefully moving on or up even after the council and adding to the breadth of knowledge in the city of New York.
When did we become progressive? I always was a liberal, but my liberal agenda was almost the same as a progressive agenda.
I mean, I don't even know what these words mean anymore, really, to be honest with you.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, because, liberal, progressive, everybody said Mayor de Blasio was progressive, but he had his moments. So I don't know what these words mean anymore. I think depends who you talk to about. You don't hear the word liberal very often.
Never. Not
Just progressive or not?
Not very often, right?
No.
Yeah.
Those are the two. And
Right.
I mean, progressive can mean, anything on the spectrum of, things that are liberal, things that are socialist, things that are in between. It doesn't seem to have any real meaning.
So there's a progressive caucus.
Yes.
And how does that work?
Well, originally the members were 35 last year. Basically anybody who I think signed up for it or was in the caucus previously, because there are people obviously who were in the last city council and now in this council, or it was just anybody who wanted to sign up. I think, who knows? So I was in it and many others. And now the group we worked on bylaws together, and there's sort of a list of several issues that people are to sign if they want to continue in the Progressive Caucus. It's created a bit of, I would say, controversy between those who are in it, those who are not in it, and those who aren't sure they want to sign. So but again, what's progressive?
How did it come that you were having bylaws? I don't remember. A caucus is a caucus that people go to because.
I think bylaws are good. It says you have to be
Yeah.
at X number of meetings. It's that kind of bylaws, and you have to, be interested in pieces of legislation up to a certain point. Those kinds of bylaws, sort of like what a community board has.
All right. So it's interesting.
Yes, everything is interesting, particularly when it's controversial. Then it's even more interesting.
So when you said now the issues are so sadly so often the same. The issues that you're interested in, at least the airport, the helicopter noise, how long has that been around?
I would say since you were in the city council.
Yeah.
And it is
almost as long as there have been helicopters.
Yes, and I think it's only gotten worse for the following reason, which is that in the past, they were mostly in New York City and there were tourism helicopters that took off from the airports. We got rid of the ones that have the open doors, because you remember somebody died when they were in one of those. So those all moved to New Jersey. I took one. I went in one without the doors, flying, just to see what happens in New Jersey. And they actually come right across the river, right into Riverside Park, Central Park, Brooklyn Park, Governor's Island. So when you hear people say, oh, it's so noisy, they're right, because they're flying very low. So the issue with the helicopters is we have passed as many bills as we could in the city of New York. You can only fly out in the river if you're a tourism helicopter. You can't go out of 2 out of the 3. We'd like to get rid of the ones flying out of downtown Wall Street. But the ones that are really annoying are the ones coming from New Jersey. So we've met with the New Jersey officials, but we've not been able to stop them. And people like to take pictures at our detriment. Noisy, and they also drop fuel. We don't see it, but it's not healthy. The only way to really stop them is to pass federal legislation. And Congressman Adler has it, but it hasn't passed. And it would say something to the effect, non-essential helicopters, obviously not the police and not the press, cannot fly over a city of 8 million or more. But it hasn't passed. So it's a very common 311 call, and we're not able to actually stop it.
Was it scary?
Not scary, it's just annoying. You're sitting there in the park and zzz.
No, but if you're in a helicopter.
No, it wasn't scary because you're strapped in for your life. With,
even more than in a car.
Oh, goodness, yes. It felt like you can't move 1 inch.
So you're not hopeful?
I think it's going to take some time to get this federal legislation, because FAA, Federal Aeronautics Administration, is the only agency that can really stop them. Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
So many complaints, so many complaints.
So another issue. What? The cannabis and the selling? You're like a detective on that.
When you're in a neighborhood and all of a sudden these smoke shops are popping up, what are these things? I honestly didn't know. And so we sent out interns, because we always have a lot, and they visited 61 smoke shops, 61 between 54th Street and 108th late last year.
We have one right next to our building on 57th Street in the Park Vendome.
Yep. Everybody has one in their neighborhood on every block. And it turned out that about half of them, from what the interns could tell, were selling cannabis or marijuana. Then we called the sheriff. We didn't know that the sheriff did this. And the sheriff arrived with his staff and the staff from the State Office of Cannabis Management. I've never seen anything like this. And in all day, it took all day, we visited 3 shops. And they took out from one shop 18 bags of product and 20 bags out of the other one. And it was everything from illegal cigarettes from North Carolina, no stamp, so there's no tax. And of course, product after product regarding cannabis, all of which is illegal. The next day, they were open. And there's 2 concerns. I mean, people stop me and say, Gale, what's the problem? Why are you stopping and hurting these shops? Well, there's 2 reasons. One is the high school parents and principals are beside themselves because kids are really vaping this cannabis and other toxic substances. And it's really happening. And then second, if you have a hopefully legal cannabis dispensary in the neighborhood, how is it going to make any money if all of these illegal ones are there?
Are they owned, each one, by individuals, or is there a connection with a larger
It seems to be a connection.
operation?
I don't know, and nobody seems to know. But I will tell you that when the sheriff arrives and his deputy sheriffs and the State Office of Cannabis Management, all of whom have uniforms, are busting a shop, every other cannabis in the area closes for lunch the rest of the day because they don't want to get
So interesting.
busted.
Yeah.
So we assume that they're all talking to each other, and we assume that they know each other, but I don't have any information to that effect. But we saw them all close.
So what's the next step?
The next step is District Attorney Bragg has come up with an idea. It's an old law where you can give notice to the store and to the owner of the building. And if they don't take appropriate action in a certain time period, then I think they might get closed down. So that's the newest wrinkle in a positive way. And then the folks from Corporation Council also are trying to implement a nuisance law. So, but there are a lot of them. There are 1,400 illegal ones in the city of New York and 400 in Manhattan,
That's so interesting.
and 2 legal ones.
But the state program has been slow, hasn't it, in opening and working?
I mean, this is again our favorite elected official, I don't mind saying that, Liz Kruger, who passed a law that stated you have to go through a process to become legal, and you have to have in your background a criminal justice interaction with the criminal justice system to be fair, to be equitable for the future.
Because we've changed the law or the
Exactly.
Right.
Well, that happened a while ago. Then it took a while to get them open. And I guess people said, like you said, the entrepreneurs, may they be illegal, they are illegal, said, let me open a shop. I don't know who in the world would come up with 1,400 illegal ones.
Supposedly individual.
I don't know. I don't know who owns them, to be honest with you. And I haven't heard anybody tell me who owns them. But I do think the owners of the buildings might know what they're doing.
So that's so interesting. Why don't they? They should know.
You think so?
I have to say I was pretty shocked that on my block in this lovely building we have a shop. But anyway, so the e-bike batteries. Yeah. Every day we hear of it, almost every day we're hearing of fires that are caused by it, right?
That's a real concern. So it's, again, like everything else, complicated in the sense that we have 65,000 delivery people in the city of New York. It's a, burgeoning, big industry, and it's employing fabulous people who need jobs and who are doing a great job, no matter what the weather is, and during the pandemic. The problem is that the bikes are using batteries that are often, I call them refurbished, renovated, secondhand. And it's like what we used to have when the cell phones first came out. You would hear about these batteries blowing up. I call it, this is Gale Brewer mix and match, because I don't really know what the substances are, but they're not the original battery. And so then when you're delivering, you need 3 batteries a day. And they're heavy, they're not light, because there aren't enough charging stations, as you know. So the worst thing you do is take it home, plug it in, and fall asleep, and it overcharges and could cause a fire. So, and then we're finding out that people in their apartments are taking the batteries and then charging the delivery people to charge it for them. So there was one fire that there were 5 bikes or 5 batteries in the apartment. So we don't want to hurt the delivery people, because these refurbished are less expensive than a new battery. So it's complicated.
And the delivery people buy their own bikes.
They buy their own bikes and the batteries. So so we want to find a way. We're going to try to pass legislation that says you can't sell, like the store and Amazon. They're buying them online too. So we don't want to hurt the delivery people, but the seller should know better.
The seller of the batteries.
Correct. We are asking them, we're going to ask them, we've already started, if the delivery persons are going to have to pay more for their battery, why don't you pay for it? Why don't you pay the difference? Because they're working for you. And I know Whole Foods, for instance, those individuals work directly for Whole Foods, and their batteries are paid for, and their bicycles by Whole Foods. Yeah. And they don't have any blow-ups. So we need to have batteries that are safe. We need more charging stations also. The mayor started to do that, but we only have a potential of 2 right now. So people are doing in their apartments. So the issue is affordability for the delivery person and safety.
There's a tax attached to an order. When you call somebody and it's to be delivered, it's very expensive. by the time you add everything on it, you're almost doubling sometimes the cost of your meal. Where does all that money go?
I don't know how much goes to the app and how much goes to the restaurant and how much goes to the government. But there's the additional app. Now, there is a large discussion right now as to how much can be charged. Again, there's city council legislation, and you can imagine that the apps want less, right? Because they're getting charged quite a bit right now,
Right.
and they don't like it.
Right.
So that's another controversial issue in
Right.
the city of New York.
As an older resident of Manhattan, I am being taxed
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, you're getting taxed not only on the services that you are using, the taxis and the restaurants.
But a lot of other people.
Yes, it's really, New York City is too expensive. You saw in the Times, and we know already that the black community is moving. The whole front page of the Times and a huge story because New York City is too expensive.
And what's happening to the older people?
Well, it's hard not because many of them are on fixed incomes.
Especially your district with the property tax. I get scared when I read what's happening with the property tax because they're talking about homeowners, and I don't know if they're including my home that I own.
It's the tax and then the assessments.
Yeah.
And the assessments are in some insane reason for condos and everything else and co-ops based on the rental for the area. So you know how high that is in Manhattan. So, but I never could understand why a condo co-op property tax will be based on rental. Makes no sense to me.
Right.
So there is talk, how many years has this been?
Yeah.
A court suit on property taxes at Martha Stark, and it's still being discussed and negotiated. So we'll see if that particular discussion has some kind of fruitful end because it is too high.
People who age in their own homes,
Right.
then as they age, find it more difficult to pay.
I think it's a big problem, particularly for Manhattan, where you have people who have lived and raised families, and it wasn't expensive when they first moved in, but now they're
Or
fixed
affordable
income.
to them because their income intake was different. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the issue was they don't have the same income, and the property tax has risen dramatically because of the assessed value based on the rentals, which makes no sense.
Right.
So it's a big problem, and people are talking about it constantly.
Another thing we have on 57th Street is this store. I forget its name.
Micro fulfillment centers.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's new. It's there. It has a limited stock visibly through the windows, but it says how they deliver quickly, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't know who's purchasing. I don't know who's using them. They had to abide by the law, which they didn't like doing cash. You have to have cash. Some of them didn't even have a cash register, not to mention cash. You have to have your open window so people can see in. You can't have paper with the windows. We didn't want the delivery people to be 15 minutes to get your order when we were already scared to death of e-bikes going too fast. And they had no prices, which is against the law. And we were upset because you couldn't go in. You were not allowed in. So on all those levels, some of them are still breaking the law. Some of them are complying with some of the law, just to make sure that they're within the boundaries. But I find them, if I'm walking down the streetscape, I want to be able to go in and browse. You're in New York City. So I find them offensive.
Can I interrupt you? Because, I don't like to interrupt you. Will you come back again because we're running out of time?
I'd be honored to come back, Ronnie.
Okay, and we'll make a deal that you will?
Yes.
You're making me really excited again about the city council. I'm glad. So thank you, Gale Brewer.
Thank you, Ronnie Eldridge.